So good evening, and it's a pleasure to be here, especially when Mohini and Deepak really call you. It's very seldom that you can ever say no to them. And in a very true Deepak style, he told me, "Kuch aake technology ke baare mein boliye." And before I could even start, he's picked up everything that is rightfully mine and spoken to you already. So my larger dilemma right now, with technology really working well on that screen, is what shall I really talk to you? But there's an easy way of looking at technology.
One second. Okay, it's okay.
Okay, it needed his magical hands to make consistency on the screen. Anyway, having said that, there's an easier way to look at technology. There is nothing that we as humans cannot understand what's happening in technology. The challenge that we face, that we get caught up with it in a surprise. If you really look at technology, the technology moves with certain patterns and continues to create those patterns over a period of time. And if you pay attention to those, you would know exactly where it is going. It's almost like a drop that falls on a mountain, and the water moves. Maybe what you can't figure out is what is the path it's going to take, but it's going to gravitate towards a downward slope. We all know that. And it is for this reason, Mr. Arun Kumar is here, so I must say this, that we knew telephones had to happen. Would iPhone happen or not is a secondary conversation. Internet had to happen. Whether Facebook or a Twitter would have happened is a secondary conversation. And today we stand here talking about disruption that has been on anvil, what people call as smarter and smarter things, artificial intelligence, complex word, but very simple to understand. After all, automation has been at the heart of everything that humans have been extremely inefficient about. Our inefficiencies have helped us to innovate and automate. Look at what happened in the agriculture revolution. The farmers learned how to put a manual pump and draw water from there. And it was still a very muscle-based economy, till we figured out there's a way that we can take fossils and get power out of it. And we put power on that pump, it became an electrical pump. And today, we are saying that because of power, that thousands and thousands times of performance that happen, can we make it smarter? What we call as artificial intelligence. But ladies and gentlemen, I'll be the greatest remiss if I didn't make one statement to you, that this technology has come at a time when business and technology both are at an intersection. And this doesn't happen often. In last 60 years, we have possibly seen it twice. The first time it happened is what we call as Moore's Law. And it provided humanity 100,000 times performance in last 25 years. All the wonderful software engineers that sit here, the performance of the Moore Law helped us to make our software better. In simpler words, it made the mathematics, the arithmetic of computing cheaper each time. Metcalfe law. Forget the maths behind it. But it brought internet and introduced platform companies like Facebook, etc., again a disruption. And now, artificial intelligence. We call it exponential curve. When business and technology both come together, you don't call it anymore a linear curve, it's an exponential curve. Unlike the two previous generations, there was disruption. You got either disrupted or you were the disruptor, new companies came up. This is the first time that you can be the incumbent. And there's a reason behind it. For the very first time, the data, which actually, like Deepak said, the fuel of this industry, only 20% is searchable. 80% belongs to you. And if 80% belongs to you, you are the disruptor. You are the incumbent. And therefore, this is an era where many, many of us will progress. It's not going to be for somebody specific. So on that note, let me just get into a little bit of a video. Hopefully you guys can see it. Can you get the sound? So this is also called the Murphy's Law. You come, you try, it works. You retry, it works. And when we get onto the stage, it doesn't work.
Still machine is learning us.
Actually, it's not the machine. The humans are learning the machine, I think.
Yes, you're right.
Yes. Yeah.
I am a protector, exploring the expanses of space to keep our planet safe, and all the species that call it home. I am a healer, giving doctors the vision to create amazing new cures. And using the heart's own magnetic field to diagnose itself. I am a guardian, searching a mountain of data to keep us safe when we travel, and a sea of people to find a lost child. I'm a helper, powering autonomous machines that simplify our lives. Capture our greatest adventures. Make us whole again. I am a visionary, enabling taxis that don't need steering wheels, and those that don't need roads. I am even the composer of the music you're hearing. I am AI, brought to life by NVIDIA, deep learning, and brilliant minds everywhere.
Well, there's an observation there. While the video is completely embroiling, but there is an observation there. And the observation is pretty simple. There are many of you who are pretty fond of AI and the jargons like machine learning and deep learning, supervised learning, unsupervised learning, GANs, etc., etc. And we often get carried away with jargons. But it's a very simple observation. And the simple observation is based on this definition. At the end of it, it is an algorithm. An algorithm that runs on supercomputers based on your digital experience, and if taught by us certain tasks, it can perform that. And when that combination of the machine and the human come together, it provides you these kinds of definition that you saw in this video. In simpler words, the technology is helping the approach to mankind slightly differently. It's augmenting us. It is now a fact that the software engineers will get augmented by the computers to write much larger software. Software that we as humans couldn't write, in combination with the computers can write this gigantic software. And because they can write gigantic software, it requires supercomputers to run it. And because you require supercomputers, the software engineer is going to be inside the box. And if the supercomputer is going to have a supercomputer is going to have the software engineer inside the box, your measurement of your company is how many supercomputers you have. After all, if you're in the business of software, then the definition is how good the software you write, and that means that what's your infrastructure. I know in this audience sits many people who are into the business of selling computing. Think about it. I can see many of you who were there when the PC era had started. There was an opportunity for you. That's the same opportunity right now for you with this industry. If it's going to be about supercomputing, if it's going to be about data, if it's going to be about writing software at a different league, then everything changes around you. Your workflow changes, the way you design software changes, the way you do engineering changes. The moment there's disruption, there's more opportunity. So if you are with me, let's try and understand that often, and I do not know when it comes, but it has come, everybody talks about autonomous. And classic is India. You say the word autonomous, are yaar, India mein autonomous chal gaya na, the autonomous has achieved. Let me see how the car goes around the cow. Or, if that little paper brick is lying there, can the car really figure out that's not a brick, but that's a paper and I should run over it? But that's not autonomous. Autonomous is the inspiration for entire humanity, that how can we function with the machine on our own. There are people in the automotive industry who've understood the economics of autonomous vehicles. And they've understood that moment I switch from mechanical cars to software cars, the connection with humanity increases. Therefore, the investment that I make into selling you a vehicle lasts me much longer. And there's another reason, which is a technical reason, why a lot of people are trying autonomous. And I'll tell you soon after I show you this little video that what do I really mean by this. This is an actual car that's been driven for 8 hours in New York City, in New Jersey, and the driver hasn't touched the handle, and he's driving at about 100 miles. What you're really seeing is the autonomous vehicles work in 4 categories. Let me stop it there. I will just try and save time. There is just 4 functions. The number 1 function is to know, where am I? My second function is to understand what's around me. My third function is to figure out what is the danger. My fourth action is action, to safeguard everyone. Now think about it, with the same square in an engineering world, I can apply that to my company, I can apply that to my lab, I can apply it to anything that I want. And by the way, car autonomy is the easiest factor. What's even more difficult is this thing, which I have actually borrowed this video. Sorry, just go back. So this is from Boston Dynamics. Have a look at this robo. This robo is trying to open the door and finds that there are not enough limbs. Asks for a friend to come and help. like good collaboration, make sure the door is open, and as a very courteous, chauvinistic person opens the door, the friend goes out, and both of them can walk out. Now, this is even more difficult than making cars autonomous. And the reason is very simple. Outside world, you have rules and regulation for hundreds of years, and we know how to operate in that. Inside this, every day the configuration of this room changes. If there was a robo here, suddenly people are sitting, the telephone rang, the gentleman started walking out, the robo is walking, how is it supposed to react? So there is a lot more perception that is required, a lot more understanding that's required, and maybe even the language is required. But the four circles work simultaneously. If we can crack this, we already figured out that, hey, instead of in Bangalore, sitting and driving 2 hours, I might as well sit in a car, keep doing my work, and make my destination a joy rather than a worry for me that will I reach here or not. The second aspect of getting you to be inspired with AI is that there's nothing better than your own health. If we can find that what's happening in our system, we can take care of our health. The doctors, in the context of India, we are talking about 15,000 patients to a doctor. Radiology, even a bigger pressure point on them. How will they have time to understand what's happening? If machines can come to that rescue and can basically convert that gray little scale, which is on your right side, into a color scale, reconstruct that whole definition, and tell the radiologist, this is what I am seeing, and the radiologist on top of that say, yeah, makes sense. Maybe we've caught it early, let's sort it out, we remain healthy. So true examples, I told you safety of human being, health of a human being. If that's what machine helps you to do, why even have a debate saying that, hey, they'll take over our jobs? In fact, they'll give us more scope to do more. And that, I thought, ladies and gentlemen, in quick 15 minutes is a way to inspire you. There's a lot of opportunity in the marketplace. For next 25 years is going to be all about smarter and smarter things. What we will have to do is to play our roles. There's an opportunity for you to basically get into consulting business. There's an opportunity to make AI as a part of your company's doing. You have opportunity to do big projects and do more business. And on that note, there's lots to make money. Have fun. I'm pretty much here. If you want to talk to me, happy to talk to you.